Hi, welcome to this new unboxing and quick analysis. Today will be a new Bayang toys quadcopter. In fact, this is the X16, their first brushless quadcopter. It's a large model, a 350mm quadcopter size, so a direct competitor of last Sama X8, C, G, and a different recent model. But this one is the first relatively cheap brushless quadcopter. Don't be wrong with the antenna behind. Is not this quadcopter don't have any GPS module inside. It's a fake module, so it's a basic brushless quadcopter, and with some 3S power. Let's discover what you will find inside this box. So here is the contents. So I open everything. First of all, you will have this camera. If you have already a Sama X8C, you will recognize this model. It's exactly the same kind. It's probably the same module with, unfortunately, some narrow lens. So with a field of view of 60-70 degrees. Provide with, you have a 4 GB micro SD card. Okay, but you have the same kind of 2.5mm jack connector to trigger your camera recording. You have a set of 8 props. Okay, be aware, they are, first of all, they are 8-inch model with this hub of 5mm, a DGF system with this 5mm in larger diameters and for the inner one. So, but out of the box they are pretty unbalanced. Look the amount of tape I had to add to balance them. Okay, so they are 8-inch. Sorry. You have a set of 4 spare props. You have the charger charging the batteries with the balancer plug here. It's a 3S model, effectively. The power unit, 15 volt and up to 0.6 ampere, and the charger is charging this huge 2200 milliamps per hour 3S LiPo, no discharge rate mentioned. It comes with this HXT 3.5mm connector. Okay, so it starts to become a popular connector for at least 2S toys quadcopter. Well, it's rare to find a compatible connector to charge with your favorite charger. So you can find on this kind of plug on eBay, but be aware, is not yet the correct one. Well, in terms of compatibility of plugin, yes, but you will have to invert this negative and positive on the TD connector. Okay, at the end you will be able to build such kind of connector. Okay, I inverted on this one, and I connect through the GST connector to my more professional charger. So with this one, be aware, it takes 3 hours to charge, it's long, and the balancing can be not very efficient. So it comes also with a set of tools, a micro SD card reader, a small screwdriver, and a wrench to lock your prop caps. An instruction manual, okay, and as you can read, is for the X15 model, so the brushed model of this quadcopter, and no really specific instruction for the X16. It's announced to have the attitude hold, no mention in the instruction manual, so it's a big open question. Finally, you have this transmitter, okay, with a small LCD, 6 AA battery to feed your transmitter. Any image accumulator are working, so okay, as you can see, and this top left button is selecting one of the 2-speed mode. Okay, this right is assumed to be the flip, but is not working in practice and is not activating the attitude hold. Actually, all these left one are fake or not used. This one is to engage the headless mode. You will emit a beep, as you can see. Okay, a continuous beep. Press again to release it. The central one is the return to home. so be aware. The down one is to turn on and turn off the video recording, and the top one is to take a photo. This one actually is not used, but is not also associated with the altitude hold. Well, I didn't find yet. So actually I didn't find how to turn on off the altitude hold. What I can say when I disassembling the quadcopter, now we'll enter more into the detail of the quadcopter, you have a L883 chip inside. It's not a barometer, it's a compass, so more associated for the headless and the return to home functionalities. I didn't see really a barometer installed. So here is a quadcopter. It's a 350mm quadcopter, and it's effectively some brushless motors. They have them 22 times. I don't know if you can see, but I'm not impressed by the quality of the brushless motor. You can see already a lot of dust or lack of protection for the copper wire. So I'm afraid versus time they will be damaged very fast. Anyway, the shaft is 5mm associated with these conventional props, so no problem. You can install any type of props. Okay, and for example, the larger model I found you can install are some exactly this time of model, this 9443. They are fitting perfectly some DJI Phantom 1, and as you can see, more on the rear, you will avoid by 1mm the rear side, so they are perfectly compatible and should offer even more thrust or a flight time capacity. I guess the ESC would support this kind of extra props, extra size. So you can increase flying time with such kind of model. That's pretty good. When you will receive it, you will have to screw for each landing foot 2 screws, okay? And the landing gears are pretty similar to the Sama X8. The ground clearance from this point to this point is approximately of 10.4 centimeters. So in my point of view, you don't really have the free room to install a gimbal, or maybe a mini or tiny Mobius 2D gimbal model are effectively could be compatible. On the bottom side, even more, you don't have specific hole to attach a gimbal, okay? No, so you will have to drill yours to if you plan to install one. Anyway, you have this kind of system for to attach the actual camera. So gently slide, okay, plug the jack, and voila, it's done. And to release it, you have to press on it, okay. I found this model of camera mount is compatible with the, for example, the X8G model. So yes, it's true. You can install it directly, as you can see, and plug it. But unfortunately, the camera is not turned on with this model of quadcopter. I don't know. Maybe there is a problem of voltage. I don't know exactly. Maybe this camera is requiring more volts. Okay, I don't know exactly. So anyway, what you can use is at least this camera mount of this X8G model. I think it can be sold separately, and inside, instead of attaching this model, you can install your own GoPro. So it's the first choice of camera mount, okay, to install a real GoPro without any problem, directly compatible. That's pretty good. And I found also that there are some other type of camera mount. I found this plastic camera mount on the 1Q, okay, I recently reviewed, and it's working more or less, okay. You have maybe to press a bit on this camera mount to install it, but it's working, okay. And voila, so you can install, for example, another GoPro with this system. That's also pretty good. It's not really dedicated for, but it's working. That's a good news. The first things I want to say, it's this quadcopter standalone is more than 450 grams. I will give all exact weight in my RC Groups review, so it's a little bit heavy. And with the prop, with a LiPo, I can give you, for example, the weight of the LiPo. Sorry, so standalone, the LiPo is 168 grams. Okay, and in terms of dimension, if you are judging an alternative one, so it's classic standard for 2200. It's 103 millimeters by 35 by 24. Okay, and inside the battery is filling well all the available room. So here is the battery compartment. Okay, and it's fitting well. You don't have really, maybe you can 1 centimeters more longer, but not so much more. Okay, and in fact, when you will turn on, you have a power switch on, but you have to know that as soon as you will plug your LiPo connector, I will make the demonstration, the ESC are already turned on, okay, but not the flying contouring board. So it's strange, but it's like this. Okay, as soon as you will press turn, connect the H16 connector, so the ESC are port, okay, and are waiting that we press the power switch button, okay, and then the ESC continue to boot, okay. You have the flashing LEDs, so red on front, green on rear. They are visible, okay, without being fantastic. So, but it's good for night flying without any problems. Okay, I will turn off actually. The ESC are individual, so it's not a 4-in-1 ESC board. That's pretty good for ESC maintenance. But you have to know that when I receive it, usually I always disassembling the machine. And for mine, one motor wire was cut directly, and one ESC wire was unsoldered. So, and I found that all the soldering job was crappy. Okay, so if you receive this machine, be sure to inspect before the first flight that there is no disaster like this, because you can burn and cook everything instantaneously if happen. Okay, so inspect your machine, and you will need to disassemble your machine. So to disassemble your machine, first of all, you will need to remove the landing gears, because you have on the central part you have hidden screws to remove. You have also to remove the lower part of the motor cap, because you will have one screw here to remove, not accessible directly, and one here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screw per arms. Okay, so 24 in total, plus 1, 2, 3, 4 here, 28, plus the 2 for the lower motor cap. So it means that you will have 36 plus 8 more to for the landing gear. So you will have a lot of, okay, so more than 44 screws to remove. It's a long unscrewing stations, okay, but it's not so hard at the end to remove everything. So as I said, you have individual ESC. No mention if they are supporting 4S. I don't think so. I was not able to identify the chip inside, but I don't think they're flashable. Okay, on the FC of the you have the main 6-axis stabilization installed on a piece of foam. That's pretty cool, as well as the compass. Okay, but also the connection, especially the PMW for the HSC, are directly soldered on the Arduino pin connector. It's a crappy job, so I'm extremely disappointed. And as soon as I saw that, I installed some liquid electrical tape to make more strong this connection in case of crash, because my big concern is in case of crash, I'm afraid that some wire will be desoldered instantaneously. Okay, so be aware, and after this crash you can have a shortcut and this quadcopter will take fires. It's really my fear about this model. So as you understand, I'm extremely worried not confident about the crash resistance, the electronical crash resistance of this machine. Okay, the good news is concerning the radio protocol. It's still the same one, the Bayang. Okay, so you can fly it with your former Bayang radio. Okay, or if you want, yeah, your Devo controller. As soon as you will install on it the NRF24 other one and the last version of Deviation TX, so it's great. Okay, and one word about the practice. I will turn on the machine right now. I found that, first of all, the camera rendition is craps. You have a ton of jello with, so definitively it's a very bad camera in every time. You don't have a really 30 frames per second. The field of view is narrow. The light sensitivity is poor. Color rendition oversaturated and full of jello, even with balance of props. So it's a big problems. Okay, so this one have to be thrown immediately. It's almost completely useless. I will show you one other problem I found with this model, and it puzzling me 1 or 2 hours because I was not understanding. So when you turn on your quadcopter, okay, and after, for example, the day after your first flight, and you turn on the quadcopter, behind the transmitter you have some solid line now, as you can see. And when you harm the quadcopter, so you have to push in both stick in lower outer position, and it's harming. Okay, sometime you have this motor spinning much faster. Okay, and it was really strange. You have to know that this quadcopter is also losing its gyros, accelerometers, calibration very fast. And if you see that one motor is spinning much faster, you have to reset your gyros. So how to do it? Pressing the stick in lower right or the headless in lower left. Okay, do it regularly before each flight, and you will see that all the motor will spin correctly. Okay, it's a trick to do for every flight. This machine is very powerful. You will see the pump up impressive thanks to some brushless motors, but I'm a little bit afraid about the motors, the brushless motor. It happened to me that during a flight, especially in the high speed, okay, when you press on the top left, first of all, the roll inclination are very not continuous, smooth. You have like this, tack. You can feel, especially in the roll movement. It's strange because I don't observe such much phenomena with my Devo controller. And what happens sometime mid-flight happens 3 times. These front right motors stop immediately, and of course my quadcopter crash immediately. I guess because this motor is weak or a little partially damaged. Okay, so it's a little bit too much. One unsoldered ESC, 1 cutted motors and motor wires, and 1 weak brushless motors. So definitively the quality is not here. Okay, in terms of building, it's probably the price of this cheap brushless edition, or maybe it's the first batch. The worker in the factory are not well trained. I don't know, maybe a question of bad luck with mine. But definitively I raise concern about the general quality of this model. Even if the plastic sounds pretty strong, I crashed it 2-3 times from 2 meters high, no damage at all. So it's a good news for this thing. So, okay, so basically I didn't find the way to turn on the altitude hold. So I don't think there is one, to be honest, and really I'm surprised. And well, you have a lot of jello, as said. Yes, one word about this camera. As I said, even the camera mount is working, is not compatible with this X8G model. Okay, I'm trying to make a resume of the pro and con points. Oh, one word, very important, I will make a demonstration about the phase safe, and really it's probably also one of the main problems. So I will turn on the quadcopter, okay, and bind the quadcopter, turn on the radio, okay, and turn off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, after 6 seconds the motor decrease, I guess, to lower, to amorce, to start a descent, but you have 6 seconds of potential flyaway and the motor doesn't stop at all. You are in idle mode, but if you turn on again the radio, you can take again the control. Okay, so the phase safe behavior for me is too important. 6 seconds of potential flyaway is too much. Okay, and it didn't stop completely the motor. It means that if your motors, if your quadcopter land by accident badly, and this quadcopter flips on the ground, the prop will continue to turn, to spin, and it will damage your props, your motors, your ESC, everything, and you will probably have a problem electrically. Okay, so it's definitely a very bad point. So what I like with this machine, it's really powerful. You can install some 9-inch and 9.5-inch props. That's pretty good, and you have a good 10 minutes of flying duration with this LiPo. It's also an amazing point, even more. So the control range I didn't mention. On the transmitter, you have a power amplifier on the RF chip, so really you can achieve 200 meters without problems. That's a really good positive point. It's deviation TX compatible, and also it's pretty cheap. It's announced to be sold around $100 dollars, more or less. I don't know if it's including the shipping fees, but it's around this price. So if it's true, it's really competitive, but it's much more, around 130, 40. The big question is why take this model over maybe a Flying 3D X8 with also such low quality, but this one including a GPS and altitude hold, etc., and also directly some gimbal ports, because you don't have any gimbal ports. So where to find your 12 volt, for example, is an open question. Okay, so you have a good fundamental pro cons, but the major con ones are the phase safe behavior, 6 seconds. You require to calibrate gyros frequently. The time to tow, I observed that some motor can stop. The general soldering quality and no altitude hold. Okay, and unfortunately, with the 720p camera, a lot of jellos and crappy videos in generally. Okay, so I hope you like this video. If you have any question, please type them below. And if you like this video, please submit. And if you like my channel in general, please subscribe. See you next time.